Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. We also, just to give some clarity, Madam Speaker, if there is that concern, just noting that 2 members are appointed by the Prime Minister, 2 members by the Chief Secretary, and then the 5th member by the President after consultation. But Madam Speaker, even after all of that, the clause goes on to say that there is judicial oversight, Madam Speaker. If there's a concern, there is judicial oversight over decisions that are made by the Dispute Resolution Committee. And we see that at 145.5. A review of a decision of the Prime Minister shall lie to the High Court. Madam Speaker, further, an appeal against a decision of the High Court under subsection 5 shall lie to the Court of Appeal, and the decision of the Court of Appeal shall be final. So if after all of this protection that the bill seeks to put in, there is still judicial oversight, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, if the member has an amendment, we'll be happy to hear it.
Member for
Yes. Two concerns at subsection 4, which the member outlined, and at subsection 6. The Dispute Resolution Committee, after it considers the dispute, basically the Dispute Resolution Committee shall make recommendations to the Prime Minister. So it's direct that they make the recommendation to the Prime Minister, who shall consult with the Chief Secretary before making a decision. If the Chief Secretary is having the Premier is having an equality of status, or so to speak, that you're trying to introduce here, why the Dispute Resolution Committee don't make the recommendation to the Chief Secretary and the Prime Minister? Why must the Prime Minister then have to go to the Chief Secretary if you're trying to put these things as parity, and that you're having the Chief Secretary appoint 2 members and the Prime Minister appoint 2 members? Why is there this disparity now with respect to the recommendations going directly to the Prime Minister? That's the first point. And the second point, why are you stopping the appeal at the stage of the Court of Appeal and not going to the Privy Council?
Madam Speaker, in the same way that elections appeals stay at the state of the Court of Appeal, it's similar. It's similar. It is what is being disputed is what could be disputed is a dispute between what is happening within the islands of Trinidad and Tobago. So it would, yes, I said islands. It would not go, it is not normal in those circumstances, Madam Speaker, because we did review other countries that have similar status. And it was not normal for these kinds of disputes to go further than the Court of Appeal of the particular country. In addition to that, Madam Speaker, the Prime Minister still remains the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And consequently, when the Dispute Resolution Committee makes a decision, they come to the Prime Minister and give the information, the results of the dispute, to the Prime Minister. And that is the objective of having that in this clause.
Just one observation I want to make with the members' contribution is that the members comparing apples and oranges. There are several cases that will tell you that when a civil court sits to determine an election petition, it sits as an election court. We are asking the court to invoke its civil jurisdiction in this particular case, and not an election jurisdiction. And there's a clear distinction because the court exercises 2 separate powers when it sits in these various jurisdictions. So I think the member is absolutely wrong when she talks about that we should stop at the level of the Court of Appeal.
That clause 20 be amended as circulated.
Madam Speaker, could I just make one short comment on what my colleague just said there? Madam Speaker, when the decision was made to not let election petitions go to the Privy Council, it could easily have been made differently. Correct. And said, okay, it will go to the Privy Council. But it was put there in the context that the nature of this particular problem, the population should be satisfied that the decision is made within Trinidad and Tobago. So that was an example here. There's no law or constitution, right or wrong law, that says that if on this occasion, in a dispute between the administration in Trinidad and Tobago, between the THA and the central government, that an existing tribunal should be the authority, and that could go as high as our Supreme Court, and that be the end of the matter. Why is that a right or wrong decision? It is simply a decision of the Parliament today saying that between these electoral bodies working out of a tribunal, the matter should not fall to anybody in London to tell us what to do. So it's not a right or wrong, it's whether we do it or we don't do it. And in this case, the decision is by the Joint Select Committee, by majority of the Parliament, that it ends at the Appeal Court of Trinidad and Tobago. Simple as that. So it is not correct to say that you're wrong in law or you're not following the law and you're cheering that, yes, he found that she was wrong in law. It's a nonsense. It's a choice that we're making to have it end there because of the nature of the problem in similar circumstance to an election petition, right? Because one cannot say that this is an election petition, so therefore you're wrong. Madam Speaker, I think that's as far as one could explain in the English language. Our colleagues, I don't want to ascribe ulterior motives to them, but I think that the argument is without substance.
The question is that clause 20 be amended as circulated. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The question is that clause 20 as amended now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clause 20 as amended now stand part of the bill.
Clause 21.
The question is that clause 21 stand part of the bill. Member Faruqa Maloney.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the amendment is as follows. Delete the words Chief Secretary and Deputy Chief Secretary and substitute the word Premier and Deputy Premier, respectively, wherever they occur. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Member for Baratari Sanwa. The question is that clause 21 be amended as circulated. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The question is that clause 21 as amended now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clause 21 as amended now stand part of the bill.
Preamble.
The question is that the preamble to the bill be approved. The question is that the preamble to the bill be approved. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The preamble to the bill is approved. Honorable members, the question is that the bill as amended be now reported to this House. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. This committee meeting is now adjourned. The House will resume.